I just want to talk for a couple of minutes about why exactly I'm doing this. So, a little over 2 years ago, I lost my dad. And between me and my sister, we inherited two cars. We inherited a Austin Healey Sprite, and we inherited a 1986 911 Carrera. So, at this point now, I really started to show an interest in classic cars, because I had a 50% share in two classic cars. So I went to Silverstone Classic, never been before. It was brilliant. It's not called Silverstone Classic anymore, it's called Silverstone Festival, but it's the same thing. And it was last summer, so it was fantastic summer, all summer. And I went and had a chat with a few car clubs, and I spotted one that was called the Midget and Sprite Club. And I had a chat with them, and they were very down to earth people. And I thought, well, I'll take a punt on this. I think it was 25 quid. You get a discount when there's big shows. So yeah, I joined. You get a magazine posted every month about the what's going on in the club and all the areas. And then obviously you've got your area that have a monthly meeting. Mine just happens to be the second Wednesday of every month, which is tomorrow. So anyway, I joined a car club, and we like to meet up in our cars on a nice sunny day and go for a drive all together in convoy, and go and get fish and chips or something, and then we'll all drive back somewhere to where we started from, and what have you. And if that really appeals to me, and if that really appeals to you, it's probably a good idea for you to maybe think about talking to people who are part of car clubs. We have a really big day, and all car clubs do it. It's called Drive It Day, where we all go out in our cars. We all meet up from our club. We all go out in our cars, and we have a drive around, and we go for lunch somewhere, and then we carry on having a drive around. It's kind of an all-day affair, so probably about 50-60 mile trip. I broke down on Drive It Day in the Sprite. My clutch had gone. So, not knowing anything about cars and not really wanting to touch something that was Dad's, so I rang around a lot of places, and there weren't many places that knew what they were doing. They're not really interested in old cars or classic cars. One young lad who was on the phone to me, actually, when I told him it was an Austin Healey, he asked me it was an Austin what. So yeah, it was hard to find someone, but I did eventually find someone. But it was really expensive. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm happy with the work that was done. Drives like a new car now, but it was a lot of money to get the clutch, the master cylinder and the slave cylinder changed. So yeah, so I decided, well, I'll buy one of my own and I'll play around with it. I'll do a restoration on it, and I wanted to do something a bit silly, a bit mad with it. So my original idea was to, drop a big V8 in it. But all you get with a V8 really in a car like this is the noise. It's got too much power, so you got no traction. It's far too much weight for such a little car. If you're going at some chat anyway, you turn the wheels turn, the car keeps going in a straight line. So it would have completely ruined the car, even if I'd have fitted it with a four-wheel drive system and made the car even heavier, which it kind of defeats the object of a light, small British sports car. So I've decided to do this engine conversion instead. So yeah, I'm going to be teaching myself how to do almost everything I expect, from draining everything off, removing things, to welding, brand new mechanical knowledge. So it's going to be a massive learning curve for me, and this is partly why I wanted to do this and document it all for social media, is the fact that I don't know what I'm doing. And if you've got a car like this and you don't know what you're doing, it's not that hard to learn. It's something that can be picked up. If you've got a really complicated, if you've got a supercar, a modern supercar, it's completely different. But this is a simple engine, it's a simple car. So it's probably one of the best things, you know, to learn on. Right, so I've got a 3/4 inch socket here on my spanner, and I've got the best washing up bowl in the world there. So this can only go one of two ways. Let's see which way it goes. Alright, so it's not done up incredibly tight, I'll be honest. Still not able to undo it with my hand. It is very loose with the spanner though. Right. Not entirely sure how much pressure this is going to come out with, so. Not bad. Probably missed it in shot, but there we go. I only managed to get loads of treacle on my hands, so I reckon I've done quite well there. So yeah, I'm going to go and have a cup of tea and let this drain off. Not a lot of oil in it, clearly, because it's already lessening off. So I'm going to go and wash my hands for the 20th time today, and then I'll see you back here shortly. Right, well, the oil's out. Swapped to a little old painting dish, which is rubbish. There's in a pile of stuff to go to the tip anyway, so that's now dripping into a little paint tray. And we're going to move our nice bucket of treacle over to here. And then we're going to grab our spanner. And we're going to give this a go. That's got the wrong attachment on it. Back in a minute. Right, back again. The right 1/2 inch attachment this time. That was looser than I expected it to be. Right, that's pretty loose now. Let's do the last bit by hand. See how much treacle I can get on my hand this time. Oh, that's ready to go. There we go. So we're doing quite well in our treacle collection. So quite happy with that. Let the gearbox drain out now. So sorry about the camera angle and things like that, but it's incredibly difficult to film at this sort of angle. So yeah, that's draining away quite nicely. So I'm going to go and find something else to do. See you in a bit. Right, so while the oil drains away, you found me inside the cab. Well, I'm going to investigate trying to take off this lovely hardtop here. So spin the camera around, and so it looks like on the front that it's just held in by one nut and bolt and a hook that clips into where the original soft top would clip into, and the same on the passenger side. And if we have a look round on the back, Is that where it's connected? Don't know. Is it? No, it's not. It looks like it's just sitting in there. So let's go grab a couple of spanners and see if we can't get this roof off. Unfortunately, at this point, you find me in voiceover mode. My wireless mic cut out on me, and I didn't notice. So I'm about to drain the diff. Didn't have the right socket attachment, so I took everything off my ratchet and just stuck that in the hole and turned it. It was much stiffer than both the other sump nuts, but once I did manage to get it to go, the thread I noticed was much shorter on it than the others as well, and it came out quite easy. In fairness, this is the third sump nut now that I've taken out ever, and I think I'm getting quite good at it. I actually managed to not get too much on my fingers this time, but yeah, I think I'm getting the hang of it now. So that's draining, as you can see. Another lovely colour. There's not much in the diff, but I have left catch points under all the sump holes just in case anything drips out while I'm off at work next week. So yeah, got the roof off. Wasn't difficult. It's not heavy, but it is a bit awkward. In pretty good nick, to be fair. There's a little bit of damage just here on it. That's all I've been able to find. But other than that, probably just wants a good clean, and it's all right. Might want another lick of paint, but for the most part, little bit of damage there. Look. So I didn't do that. That was already like it. It's all bent into position and everything. So anyway, yeah, not too bad. Turns out there was a rear fixing on it, and it's here. It was held on by an inordinate amount of bolts and all the washers. That did absolutely nothing because the gap was about 1.5 inches, not about 12mm, which is what that is. So pop them there. But the best bit was on the other side. Let's head on round. See my well-leafed Haynes manual there. So this is what we found on the other side. Just that poked in there like that. Good, isn't it? So yeah, at least we've got the roof off now. I'm going to start attacking the interior. Get the doors off, get the seats out, get the carpets out, get the dash out. So that's my little job for the weekend, I think. So we'll drain everything off, get everything here done, let it sit and stew in its own sadness for a week while I'm off at work, and then we'll come back and we'll keep on stripping it. So while those two happily drip away, God knows how long they're going to drip for. We'll probably have to leave them overnight, and I've run out of treacle capturing receptacles, so we'll just move on to something else. Just thinking about getting the seats out. Now I've noticed these are drilled all the way straight through from the seat mounting, but one thing I have noticed is if I show you the inside, I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see it, but they're welded. So let's have a look see. Hopefully they're just welded to the rail. So that one was a 10mm. That one was a 7/16. That one looked, it's just like a bit of plastic. And that one looks like another 10mm again. This is getting a little bit frustrating. So those bolts are undone now, and the seat's ready to be taken out. Passenger seat looks alright once I got the seat cover off it. Driver seat's knackered, but I suppose it is getting on for nearly 50 years old, so I'll forgive it. If I look that good when I'm 50. So I'm going to take the doors off, because I'm a big lad and it's difficult to get into this small car. If I keep the sills where they are, the sills are in pretty good nick from what I can tell, so I'm going to take the doors out. They are screwed into position, apart from that one, so somebody's already done half my job for me. They're not in the best of conditions, so a bit worried about that pocket of rust down there. But we'll see what it looks like when we get the doors out. So I've done the same on the passenger side. I've took the door off. Again, there's a bit of a mismatch of bolts and screws and God knows what holding the doors in. So again, a little bit of a rust pocket right at the bottom of the A-pillar there. So it doesn't look too bad. Seems to mostly be surface rust, but didn't have my screwdriver, so give it a bash with the impact drill. It's not gone through anywhere. It is quite a bit worse by the looks of things at the bottom. Bit of powdery rust there coming away. I'm not sure if it's just paint or what at this point, but you will see. Well, I don't think it's going to be that bad, but we'll have a look later on. So yeah, it's not too bad. It's a good job I never had a passenger in this car, as you're going to see in a minute, because the seatbelt wasn't mounted to anything. So, death trap, yet again. Well done, MG. Unsurprisingly, driver's side, exactly the same issue. Seatbelt just not bolted in. Nice array of detritus, having got the seats out. 50 years worth of rubbish. Don't know where all that paper came from. Probably at some point, probably a rat's nest or something in the car, but hey ho. Some disintegrated old rubber. Some mad sweet wrapper. Toxic waste. Yeah, just loads of crap really. So let's get it all out. I did pull out these rather nice MG midget rubber mats. I don't know if they're original. If there's any midget guys here, let me know if they're original or not. I like them, they're pretty cool. So I think pretty good progress has been made here. I've got all the interior out, all the little bits of carpet. The dashboard still in. Steering wheel still attached. But all the door rubbers, all the bits of interior behind the dashboard is gone. So yeah, I think all in all, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, there's a bit of a weird weld in the floor pan there. Nice little repair there, looks awful. That looks like it should be in a Mary Shelley novel. That's quite bad, I think. So yeah, that was where the hardtop's damaged. So I think all in all, that looks really shocking actually. Yeah, I think that's good job nobody ever crashed in this car. So that's the seatbelt mounting. Let's have a look down here. Driver's side footwell doesn't look too bad at all. There's just some sitting water there, that must have been from all the rain that it's been outside for the last couple of weeks, so it's rained really heavily, so bit dubious about that. So, oh, there's a little bit I forgot to take out. Have I? Oh, it's just a tiny little bit of vinyl just glued onto the body. So that's probably the only bit that was glued on, apart from the the heat insulation there. Yeah, so if you made an MG midget, if you trimmed it out in 1978 and you're 60 plus now, thanks, because it saved me a right game, because none of it's been glued in. Let's go and have a look at the passenger side. Right, so on the passenger side, instantly that looks a great deal better than what it does over there. Looks pretty good. Well, it doesn't look pretty good at all, but it's a lot better than what I was expecting to see. Passenger footwell, bit of a mismatch there, so be interesting. Oh, I actually have missed a bit of panel there. Take that out. There's that other little bit of vinyl that's just been glued in. That's off now as well. There's our suspect bonnet catch, which we'll be removing shortly. So yeah, getting there. I'm going to call it a night for tonight. I'm going to go in and see if there's anything I can immediately post. So yeah, not too bad. Not too bad for a weekend's work, really, is it? For somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, we're all right. So everything's draining underneath. All we've got to do really is the brakes and the water now, and then most of the interior's out. There's a load of crap in the boot, but I need to get rid of the hard top first. Can't just chuck it outside. So yeah, doors are off. I haven't dismantled the doors. I've just wound the windows down to protect them. Not quite sure what to do with those aftermarket wing mirrors that have been put on sideways. I don't know. I think they look quite cool in that aspect, to be honest, but it's clearly wrong. But yeah. Other than that, first look into the boot. I've never been in the boot of this, so it's nice to know that I've got a spare tyre. And well, looks to be just a bag of crap, really. What's that? Yeah, right, that was never used on this. So I think we've done pretty well this weekend. We've had an intro into the car. We've talked a little bit about car clubs. We've talked a little bit about why I'm doing this. And we've played a game of, is it all that or is it just tat? And we've done some work. So yeah, not too bad.